how could they not know that this was so offensive to me and I can't believe it? And you end up having an entire argument in your head with the person who did the thing that they didn't even know they did and hurt your feelings or offended you in some way, shape, or form. And what you're doing is you're allowing it.
Ruslan.
All right, let's jump into the
Daily Proverb. Ruslan.
All right, the daily proverb for the day is Proverbs chapter 17. Love prospers. Some of you guys get triggered by the word prosper. Love prospers when a fault is forgiven, but dwelling on it separates close friends. Sometimes some of us will allow external things, someone else's fault, to take root in our heart. And we allow these things to develop resentment. We allow these things that maybe the other person didn't even know they did to offend you to take deep root and create frustration and anger. And then you start having the dialogue in your head about this person and how could they not know that this was so offensive to me and I can't believe it. And you end up having an entire argument in your head with the person who did the thing that they didn't even know they did and hurt your feelings or offended you in some way, shape, or form. And what you're doing is you're allowing it to fester. You're allowing it to be unnecessarily deeper than it has to be. And this passage is telling us love prospers when a fault is forgiven. Are you willing to forgive people their faults in the same way you were forgiven of much, by the way? But dwelling on it separates close friends. Some of you guys have lost close friendships because one of you dwelt on something that wasn't even that deep. You dwelt on something that wasn't even that big of a deal, but because nipping it in the bud would have required maturity and the ability to lean in and have hard conversations, you chose to be passive-aggressive. You chose to be passive-aggressive, not address it, and instead go in and have an entire fight in their head about all the things they did wrong and never bring it to them. And I'm telling you, this is the sort of stuff that puts close friends, even marriages, at risk of collapsing. Hey, you want to see something kind of crazy? Over 75% of the people that watch this channel are not subscribed. Please consider subscribing and turning your bell notification on so that you don't miss anything we have going here. My advice to you is, if and when you have an issue with someone, even if you don't have the maturity or the capacity to just shrug it off and be like, man, they ain't mean it that way, right? There's some relationships that I know that they believe the best about me. And even if they do something to offend me, I don't even need to bring it up because it's not that big of a deal. My relationship with my wife is like that. She might do something here or there that bugs me or whatever, but unless it's something really severe, I am not going to address. I don't even need to address it. I could just let it go. And then if it's like, oh, yo, this right here, you know what I mean? I'll bring it up. But if you don't have the capacity to just let stuff go without genuinely allowing it to take root and create resentment, you have to learn to have healthy conflict and be confrontational, not in a way where you're unnecessarily combative, but that you're in a way where you're humbly saying, listen, I don't know if you meant it this way, but the way this came out made me feel like X, Y, and Z happened. You want to stay away from you always and you never absolute statements. You always, it's already, the person's already going to get on defensive. You never, person's going to get, because those are absolute statements. When X, Y, and Z happened, it made me feel like X, Y, and Z. When you said that, I think you'll be surprised when you approach interpersonal conversations in this sort of tactful way with believing the best about the person, that they're not trying to hurt you, they're not trying to cause harm. Hey, did you know that you can watch videos like this on the Spotify app? We now are on Spotify under Ruslan Bless God Podcast. So if you're driving and you want to go back and forth between listening to the podcast and just the audio or watching the video, consider doing it now on the Spotify app as well as all podcast platforms. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace. they're doing their thing. They're living life. Sometimes they're flipping. Sometimes they're not as conscientious. Sometimes they're not as, right, in tune with other people's feelings, your feelings. They don't mean anything by it. You'd be surprised how relationships can grow closer. You'd be surprised how relationships can flourish out of that. Have you guys ever had that friend where y'all were kind of casual, surface level friends, but the moment you had a real serious confrontational moment, it actually took your friendship deeper? That's what I'm talking about. So the proverb is Proverbs 17, verse 9. Love prospers when a fault is forgiven, but dwelling on it separates close friends. Or I'll go deeper. I'm a poke, but dwelling on it and venting about it to people that have nothing to do with the situation, I mean, that's just a recipe for a complete train wreck. So the moral of the story is, learn to be an adult. Learn to lean into hard conversations. Learn to be specific. Or learn to let stuff go, which is good too. Isn't it wrong with letting stuff go? Nothing wrong with saying, this isn't that big of a deal. If you could actually let it go. Like legitimately, you know what? They did X, Y, and Z. It's not that big of a deal. You know, it's not that big of a deal. So this is important. This is important, and it's this might save some of your guys' marriages. Learning how to have healthy conflict. All right? Now I'm hot. Let it go, turn away, and slam the door. No, don't slam the door. Don't do that. Don't do that. Hey, this is a segment from our daily after party stream. Consider partnering with us online for as little as $5 a month to get access to these daily after party streams completely unedited. You'll also get access to our podcast as they are streamed live into the community before anyone else gets to see them, get to interact with our guests, get access to our private Discord server, and a discount code for our store for as little as $5 a month. Ultimately, that will help towards helping us continue contextualizing the gospel using media and podcast here on YouTube. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace.
Our friends at Genucel Skincare have exciting news to celebrate in 2023.
Using Manscaped during my showers after workout has given me much more confidence.
And that's where Mud Water comes in.
True Classic has got your back.
All thanks to the sponsor of today's video, SayMine.com.
Established Titles is your opportunity to earn the title of Laird or Lady. Subject to credit approval, rates range from 7.99% APR to 19.99% APR, included 0.50% auto pay discount.
If you don't want us to make ads with brands you don't care about, sign up for our online community for as little as $5 a month to keep us independent and ultimately answering to you as our boss. You get all sorts of benefits like daily replays of our after party streams, exclusive access to our Discord community, and early access to our podcast interviews, all starting for only $5 a month.